Hey guys! So I thought that I would make a video updating you guys on what's been going on, where I haven't been, why I haven't recorded a video in the past couple months. It's been a crazy time for me. A lot's been going on. I've been busy. I've been sitting at home. I've been doing all sorts of stuff. So if you want to know where I have been and what's been going on in my crazy hectic life, then keep watching. Okay, so for starters, I got my own apartment. I never in a million years thought that I would even qualify to get my own apartment. It kind of happened, and once it did, it was kind of like you couldn't stop the ball from rolling, if you know what I mean. Like, everything was a domino effect, and it just happened so fast. Let me backtrack a little bit. I started looking for an apartment at the end of February, but the beginning of March. Me and my former best friend, me and him started looking for an apartment. He was going to be my roommate and help me out, but that ended up falling through. Anyways, I'll explain that later. So I go to different apartments and they're all insanely expensive, like so expensive. And mind you, this was before the virus. This was before the West Texas had their like pop in the oil boom and everything just went to hell. So everything was still pretty pricey. At the time, I could afford it because I figured it was going to be me and somebody else, so we could split the payments in half, everything in half, cable, whatever, everything in half. And I had enough money saved up to make it to about May. So I was like, okay, 2 people in one apartment, in a 2-bedroom apartment. I have enough money to make it to May. He has a job. I'm going to get a job as soon as I graduate. It's all good, I played this out in my head. Guys, boy, was I wrong. I get my apartment. I'm super excited. 2 weeks later, my roommate decides to move out because there's a lot of history with me and my best friend, or former best friend. We dated off and on for a couple years. Or not a couple years, but we would date for like a month and then stop dating, and then date for like another month and stop dating. It happened 3 times. And sorry, I was eating hot Cheetos. And so he was really the person that was going to help me with my apartment and kind of like help me with sorry, I'm trying to fix this. Help me with the payments and all that good stuff, just so I wouldn't have to do it by myself. 2 weeks into it, he decides that it's not for him and he moves out in the middle of the night. Now, I did give him a 2-week grace period. We did talk about it. I'm like, okay, well, I'll give you like a week or 2 to kind of think about it. If you really want to, I'm like, then we'll put your name on the lease. So I understand him wanting to completely abandon it and just leave. But I honestly in my head thought that he was gonna stay and everything was gonna work out good. There's a lot of untold stuff that I'm not gonna disclose because I don't think it's appropriate. But long story short, he bailed. I was left with a $1,000 payment, and I've been doing okay, but it's been really hard. I've been struggling financially, and it's just not something that I would ever tell anybody to do on their own for their first time. I did have an apartment in 2010 with my ex-husband. After my former friend left, I decided I didn't want a roommate. I did try to ask like family and friends if they wanted to come stay with me. Everybody said no. Nobody wanted to help me pay. Like, everybody had their own like basically lives or whatever, on agendas. And so I just was like, you know what? Screw this. I'm going to live by myself and I'm going to make it work. Like, I have my son every other weekend or every weekend because I share him with my parents. That I'll get into later too. So, I'll just convert the guest room into my son's room and keep it like that. Like, I'm not going to force anybody to move in with me. And it's even better because then I don't have to explain myself to anybody or worry about somebody not cleaning or picking up after themselves. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be my own place. And that's that. So I just left it alone. I didn't look for a roommate. I haven't looked for a roommate, nor will I look for a roommate. I'm just going to kind of stay by myself in my environment and just be happy. So that's part 1 of where I have been. It's been insane, and I did wish I could have made a video about this, but it was just so much going on and a lot of personal stuff behind the scenes, and I was just like, you know what? I'll make a video, a sit-down video one day, and I'll explain everything, and it'll all be out in the open. Work-wise, I did try to apply for unemployment because my situation was affected by COVID, and a lot of people were like, why are you applying for unemployment? Why don't you just get a job? Guys, we were in a lockdown. There was literally no jobs. Everything was closed where I lived. Everything. The only thing open was Walmart and Target, CVS, and Walgreens. I applied to all 4 of those places. The only place that called me back was HEB. HEB called me back, and I went to the interview, I went to the training, I went to all that. It was weird. I had like a camera training or whatever. Like I had to send videos of myself as a not training, as an interview. I had to send videos of myself as an interview to the managers, which was the weirdest thing I'd ever seen. I'd never seen a store do that, but I guess because of COVID and all that, you know, they had to do it. So they hired me. It was only going to be for 2 months. And the reason I didn't take the job was because they were supposed to text me and let me know when I was supposed to start. And I also had a schedule that I was supposed to be checking daily on my phone. Every day for 2 weeks, I checked it. Nothing. I never got a text, nothing. By the time I got a text, I had already started working for Marshalls. That happened. I ended up getting a job with Marshalls, and yeah, I ended up getting a job at Marshalls. Guys, I can't stand working retail. And I know most of y'all are gonna be like, what about HEB? HEB, all I was gonna be doing was stocking, and I was gonna have my weekends off. Just putting stuff on the shelves. I wasn't even gonna be interacting like actually with customers. Like I wasn't actually gonna be talking to them. I was just gonna be minding my own business with my earbuds on, putting stuff up on the shelves. That's it. At Marshalls, I was a cashier. I was up at the front. I had to do returns. I had to deal with Karens and Michaels and Brads and whatever. I had to deal with all them fun people. And the amount of stupid, ignorant people I got on the daily was insane. I would deal with people like that all the time. Oh my God, returns were horrible. I'm like, stop returning stuff. Like, don't shop if you're just gonna return everything. There's no point for it. Like, what are you doing? Buying like 7 of one thing to make sure you find the right one, and then you come and return everything again. Then we gotta put everything back up and let everything air out, basically. And we'd had to put it like in merchandise quarantine for 3 daes, which made no sense to me because it only lives on objects. I'm not gonna get into the conversation. Anyways, it wasn't the best job in the world, but it was a job. It didn't pay worth shit. So I did what I could to find another job, and I found another job. I actually got a job at Clinic. I'm working as an MA/MA nurse, whatever. When they asked me, like, have you ever done nursing? I'm like, no, I thought I was gonna be a medical assistant. But I don't know. But anyways, so yeah, I've gone through a lot in the past few months, but now I'm finally in a good place. I have a job, a steady job that hopefully in 3 months I'll still have, and it's not just gonna be temporary. It is a lot to learn. I don't think I've ever needed to learn so much on one job. My main goal though is to eventually get a job at an OBGYN office. That's kind of like my dream job. Don't ask me why. I just think it would be cool to work for an OBGYN. I've always been fascinated like by the human body, especially a woman's body, because our bodies can do so much and handle so much, especially when it comes to pregnancy and stuff. So I really would like to get a job like helping OBGYNs and stuff like that. So that's my long-term goal. Right now I'm gonna just train and stay with this job as long as I can, and once I gain the experience in about a year or so, move on to the next job. Now I have been getting a lot of questions of what's gonna happen to me schooling wise, if I'm gonna keep going to school. Honestly, I may go for my LVN. I've been considering it. I've heard it's really hard, and the college itself advises people not to work and do their LVN just because it's such a strenuous program. You're basically jam-packing everything nursing has to teach you into LVN. But yeah, I was considering it. I don't know if I'm going to, just because they're not hiring that many LVNs anymore along with medical assistants. That's why I had such a hard time finding my job. And then I've had a couple people tell me to go for nursing, which if you know me, you know I would not have the patience for nursing. So I may go for LVN, and if I do, that's where I draw the line. That's where I'm gonna stop. That's where I'm good. But yeah, you guys, there's been so much going on, and I really wish I could tell you guys literally every single detail, but due to HIPAA and privacy and all that good stuff, I can't. I'm out here living and I'm doing my best to live. And if you guys wondering where my son's at half the time, he's with my mom since I do work at the clinic 8 to 5 now. I have him on the weekends. I come and see him on the weekends. I want to go to the apartment because there's so many cases right now where I live. I just kind of want to avoid it. And here in my hometown, I think there's 5 confirmed cases of COVID, but I'm not sure. Yeah, that's really what's been going on. I don't really have much to say anymore because I can't remember much of what I've done, just what I said. If you guys are wondering if Buggy's dad is in the picture again, no, he's not. He actually moved out of state, which I'm very happy about. But yeah, that's all that's been going on, and hopefully you guys have found this video a little bit informative. I will do another sit-down video later, kind of explaining what's going on with Buggy's dad and all that good stuff, because I've had a lot of questions about it, and honestly I'm kind of tired of answering the same questions, so I may just make a video on it and call it good. But I hope you guys have a great 4th of July. I know I will. I'm gonna be with my family. I'm wearing my 4th of July attire. I actually got this shirt from Walmart. It was like $10. So have a great day, guys.